Imagine you're living your life, thinking that some of your greatest moments are long behind you. But then, out of nowhere, you get a message from someone you haven't seen in 50 years, someone you never truly forgot. The connection you shared all those years ago, the one that was interrupted by life's unpredictable twists, suddenly comes alive again. This isn't a fairy tale. It's the true story of Samantha and James, a story of love, loss, destiny, and the magic that happens when life brings two souls back together. But it wasn't just fate that reunited them. It was the resilience of their hearts and the hope that even the deepest connections can be revived. It was the summer of 1965, a time when everything felt possible. Samantha, a free-spirited girl with a love for painting and adventure, met James at a summer camp nestled in the woods. He was shy, a quiet thinker who loved to read and hike. From the moment their eyes met, there was something undeniable, a spark. They spent that summer together, exploring the forest, talking about their dreams under the stars, and sharing their hopes about the future. It was a love that felt so pure, so simple, that it didn't seem like something that could be taken away. But just as quickly as it began, life pulled them apart. Samantha's family moved to another state, and they lost contact. For years, they both carried the memory of that summer love in their hearts, an unspoken, unforgotten bond. But time passed, and with it, life took them on different paths. Samantha married, had children, and built a family. James traveled the world, served in the military, and became a successful businessman. They each lived full lives, but no matter where they went, that memory of one perfect summer lingered. Fast forward to the early 2000s. Both were in their 60s now, having weathered decades of life's triumphs and heartbreaks. Samantha had long since retired, her children grown and starting families of their own. One quiet afternoon, while sitting at her kitchen table and scrolling through her computer, Samantha saw something that made her heart race.
A name.
A familiar name.
James.
She couldn't believe it. Could this be the same James? Her James, the boy from the summer camp, the one who had always held a piece of her heart? She stared at the screen, her fingers hovering over the keyboard. What if it was just a coincidence? What if he had forgotten her by now? But in the end, her heart couldn't resist. She typed a simple message. "James, is this really you?" To her astonishment, the reply came quickly. "Samantha? It's been so long. I can't believe it." Their first conversation was like opening a window into the past. The years melted away as they spoke for hours, as if they had never been apart. There was no awkwardness, no distance between them, just the same connection they'd shared all those years ago. They reminisced about their time together at camp, the long walks, the late-night talks, the feeling that they had found something special, something rare. But life had swept them in different directions. As they spoke, the familiar warmth in their voices grew. Samantha learned that James had never really moved on. "You were the one I always thought about," he confessed, his voice thick with emotion. "I just didn't know how to find you." And Samantha, with a lump in her throat, admitted that she, too, had never forgotten him. "I thought about you every now and then, wondering what might have been," she said softly. But life just took over. For the first time in years, they dared to ask, could they really reconnect after all this time? Could they reignite what they had lost? A few weeks later, they decided to meet. Neither knew what to expect. Both were hesitant. What if the connection was only in their memories? What if too much had changed? When they saw each other for the first time, it was overwhelming. James stood there, looking older, but still the man who had once captured her heart. Samantha felt a flutter in her chest, the same warmth, the same excitement. It was as if they had never been apart. They spent the next few days together, walking through the park, talking over coffee, visiting old places. Every moment felt like the perfect piece falling back into place. They rediscovered each other, not as the young lovers they once were, but as two people who had lived full, rich lives, who had grown, and who now saw each other with a new depth and understanding. James held her hand as they sat by a lake, just as they had done all those years ago. "I never stopped wondering what could have happened," he admitted. "But I'm glad I waited, because I think we were meant to find each other again." Samantha smiled, her heart full of warmth. "I think so too." James and Samantha's story is more than just a romantic reunion. It's a reminder that love doesn't have an expiration date. It's a lesson in the power of patience, of believing that the things that truly matter, connections, love, and dreams, don't disappear forever, even when time passes. Their reunion teaches us that it's never too late for second chances. Love can bloom again, no matter how much time has passed, if you're open to it. Their story also reminds us that sometimes the connections that matter most are the ones we carry in our hearts, even if life pushes us in different directions. Their reunion wasn't just about rediscovering love. It was about healing old wounds, embracing their shared history, and understanding that the beauty of a relationship is not just in the passion of youth, but in the depth and wisdom that comes with age. It wasn't perfect. They both had scars, regrets, and baggage. But they also had something stronger, a bond that had survived the test of time. A love that was not bound by years, but by the deep knowing that they were meant to be together, no matter what life had thrown their way. If you ever find yourself thinking that the best moments of your life are behind you, or that the love you lost is gone forever, think about Samantha and James. Their story proves that life has a way of surprising us, and sometimes what we've been waiting for is just around the corner. No matter how long it takes, true love has a way of finding its way back. Because sometimes the greatest chapters of our lives are the ones we never expected, the ones that surprise us when we least expect them.